What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Well, Cardano's ADA is in a spot right now where, man, things might start heating up very soon. I believe this actually may be one of the most important little moments that we've seen from ADA, especially in the last few weeks. And so because of that, I want to share with you exactly why it's so important, what you should be on the lookout for, and a little bit as to what I am doing right now with ADA. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into the video. And guys, don't forget, if you do want to trade a little ADA and many more cryptos yourself on up to 500x leverage, you can use that BTCC link down below to go sign up to BTCC. Of course, if you do, you are going to get a 10% bonus on first time deposits between $500 and $100,000. Guys, this means that if you deposit, say, $4,000, they're going to give you $400 on the spot to start trading with. And say you turn the $400 into $1,000, all that profit you just generated is yours. No strings attached. You can withdraw it, reinvest it, do whatever you want with it. It's literally an opportunity to make free gains during the bull market on a fantastic platform. So if that does interest you, again, don't forget to go check that link out down in the description below. Now, before we talk about what is going on right now and why this is such an important moment for ADA, let me give you a little bit of context on how we got here, what we're looking for, and, well, much more. So what we've been tracking with ADA over the long term, okay, not so much the short term, but the long term, is its attempt to break out of the golden Fibonacci zone. You know, if you've watched my videos at least for one day, that I talk about the golden zone basically every day. I think this is the most underappreciated but most important thing that there is within technical analysis, in my opinion. I've built my whole technical analysis career around it to some degree. Now, the reason why the golden zone is so important is because it's the Fibonacci golden ratio. The Fibonacci golden ratio historically states that this is the level that's either going to be the highest level of rejection or the highest level of, acceleration to some degree. And what that means, put very simply, is that when you approach this golden Fibonacci ratio, you are the most likely of anywhere to get rejected to the downside. But with that in mind, if you don't get rejected to the downside and you're capable of clearing it, that thing can usually accelerate you so far, so fast, you won't even know what happened. For example, we look at something like XRP, right? And we go look at what XRP's done here, right? Boom. Boom, drawing your Fibonacci's. You see how the moment we cleared that golden box, we saw XRP accelerate from $140 to $3 faster than you've ever seen before. That's the whole purpose. And what we're looking for from ADA is ADA to be able to do the same. Because, everybody's all high on ADA and it's like, oh, ADA's doing so great. And I'm like, you don't even understand that if ADA does this, if it breaks that golden zone, it's going to be able to go so much further than people even realize. I think it's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And then you mix in the fact that it is a US-based crypto and we have a US-based crypto, cabinet and administration entering in a month. Oh man, things could start to get so insane. And so because of that, I've been tracking like a hawk what is going on with ADA here in its attempt to break the golden zone. Now, with this in mind and knowing that our primary target is breaking the golden zone, what we have been tracking is ADA's attempt to clear it. And so of course that leads us a little bit more into today, in which we have been tracking this pullback that we got. ADA's price did some beautiful things, had a descending channel, broke out of it, extended all the way up perfectly. I mean, look at this, right? All the way up to that micro Fibonacci extension, got rejected off of it, tried to hold support in this zone, but when the market started to pull back, ADA just couldn't win that fight, starts getting pulled back towards the downside, and then we bounced back up towards the golden zone again. And so what that does is it leads us into today, in which we are seeing ADA interacting with some very important resistance levels, some very important support levels, and I want to now talk about, now that this is happening and ADA is somewhat stuck right under that big old golden zone, I want to talk about what is going on right now, why it's so important, what you need to be on the lookout for, and more. And so with that said, let's transition now to the next portion of the video, where we're not doing so much of a recap, but we're actually talking about what is going on now. But I will warn you, some of the things that I'm about to go over might get a little bit confusing if you're not already a little confused about the golden Fibonacci ratios and things like that. So listen, if you're somebody who's new to this whole crypto space, you're just trying to figure all this out, or you're advanced and you're trying to add more tools to your toolbox and you're just trying to elevate and get better, all that I ask specifically from you is to just stick around at the end of the video. At the end of the video, I'm going to tell you guys what we're doing over in Tyler Hill's Crypto Vault, which is my Discord community, where we're teaching people on a daily basis through live shows, streams, signals, professionals, and I mean, there's so much going on here, and it's leading our community to learn so much faster than I've ever seen before and turn those lessons into absolute gain after gain after gain. They're generating hundreds of percentages a day at this point. So if this is something that you want to be a part of, again, all that I ask specifically from you, just stick around until the end of the video. Just trust me on this one, okay? So now that you have a good understanding of course, how we got here and what's going on, let's dissect a little bit why this is so important. Because ADA is in a range right now, and whatever side of this range it breaks out of first is very likely where we're going for quite a while. Let me explain what I mean. So let me just go ahead and let me just remove this for now, and I want to just give you this plain chart. You know what, we're just going to remove all this stuff for a bit. Let's get rid of all this, shall we? Let's get rid of you, let's get rid of you, let's get rid of you, put you back on, turn you off. There we go. Let's do that. And you know what, let's just get rid of everything, how don't we? Okay, so now that we have an empty chart, okay, what I want to break down to you is that what is happening right now is much more important than it seems. It's much more important than it seems. And the reason that I say that is because if ADA Cardano or Cardano ADA is unable to hold support here and start using this support sometime soon to make a move towards the upside, we are in a position in which ADA's price may very well continue to pull back anywhere from, you know, where we are currently from $1.09 all the way down to anywhere from 83 cents to what could be as low as 71 cents, which obviously could be a pullback of roughly 30 to 40% to the downside. Now, the reason that I say that is because you have to understand from a macro perspective what is happening. ADA's price worked itself up to and hit the most important level of resistance that there is in crypto. It hit the macro golden Fibonacci ratio. And when that happens, when you get rejected off of a level like this, being sent back down to macro points of liquidity is normally what happens. And in this case, those levels are anywhere from, you know, 81 cents down here to what could be anywhere from this little 65 cent to 52 cent area back down here. Seeing ADA's price push back down that low is not impossible on a 3-wave or a possible 5-wave. History says that when you get rejected off of the golden Fibonacci zone, a 3-wave or a 5-wave is very possibly on the books. And what that looks like for ADA is either 1, 2, 3 waves back towards somewhere around 81 cents, or maybe even as low as a 5-wave back towards 64 to 70 cents, as I mentioned earlier. No one really wants to see that. It's possible. I don't really want to see it. It is, you know, if it does happen, it's not the end of the world. I'm not really all that stressed because I do think we would find support and then use that support to continue upwards. But that is a rather gnarly move, and I don't really feel like seeing my ADA bag go down, you know, what could be 24 to 40% to the downside. And so because of this, this is the reason why you have to understand that where we are right now is getting a little bit important. It's getting a little bit, we're getting in crunch time. Because if ADA is unable to hold some support on top of and start stopping the lower low from being formed, that's likely what we're going to do, guys. We're probably going to see a rather big correction. Now, the good thing about it is we do have a lot of liquidity below us to stop us from setting that lower low. The whole goal to the downside is to just simply not set the lower low. We don't want to fall below this low, because if we do, that opens up the door for at least a 3rd wave to the downside. 1, 2, 3 to the downside, back towards somewhere around 81 cents. So our goal is to not do that. Obviously, we want to see that support held. Now, the good part is, as I mentioned before, is that ADA is in a position right now where we are getting some good bullish signals. You see how we're getting this descending channel forming as we're going down? That's a very good sign, because descending channels will normally break to the upside, meaning that ADA should start seeing some type of bullish momentum sometime soon as this price tries to break out of this descending channel. Another thing to consider is that we, of course, do have the macro or the micro Fibonacci zone sitting rather close to us. We're not there quite yet. It is right at $1 right now, but it is very close. So if ADA pulls back into another, you know, what's that, 8 cents, not a big deal. We come back down, we got the golden Fibonacci zone, we're in a good spot to use that to continue back to the upside. Another thing to consider is that our indicators, for example, here we go, you can see them starting to kind of intertwine a bit, but they are in general on the 4-hour working their way back up to a positive perspective, back to the positive threshold, the first time that it's been there, you know, going up through it since before this pump right here. Very good sign. You look at something like your Bollinger Bands, for example, they are contracting, they are squeezing. That means that we've gotten a good reset, and that's what you want to see in order for a breakout to happen. It doesn't imply what direction the breakout's going to be in, but it does mean that the reset that we're looking for is now occurring, which generally means in a bull market that a breakout to the upside could be on the way. Another thing to consider is that your RSI, for example, right here, did get a nice reset. You can see the 4-hour RSI came all the way back down to the 40% threshold. The last time that it hit this level prior to obviously this move right here was back here. Boom, and look at this. That was at the bottom of this descending channel, very similarly to what we're seeing right now. So all of these things are telling me that it is very possible, don't get me wrong, I would actually say more than 50% chance that we do see ADA's price push upwards and, you know, try to clear this, try to start working its way to the upside. But obviously this is all just speculation. This is all just guesswork at this point. We can't be sure until until we shore. And so because of that, what I'm currently doing as a result of now understanding, like, oh snap, if ADA doesn't start holding support between like now and $1, things might get extremely ugly. What I'm just going to be doing, guys, is I'm just going to be pulling back a little bit. I can't help myself, and I do purchase ADA every now and then on days like this whenever we do get these pullbacks, and I'll probably continue to do the same. You know, if ADA comes back to $1, I'll probably buy a little bit just because and just kind of see what happens. But outside of that, I'm really not doing anything big. And the reason being is I don't like buying or selling or longing or shorting before big decisions are made. Because generally what you have to understand is that when that big decision is made, it's going to open up what's probably going to happen for an extended period of time. Maybe a couple days, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. So I would rather understand where the general trend is headed as a result of that decision and make trades and plays based off of that trend change rather than try to assume where the trend change is going to happen, what's going to happen, and then try to hope that I'm right as a result of what happens. It's just not my game. I'm not very good at it. I don't really like that all too much. And so in a moment like this where we're trying to decide, okay, oh shoot, well, is ADA going to hold support between, you know, let's go ahead and actually mark this out. But, you know, this is our support level right here between $1.03 and $1. I'm going to sit back and watch, and I'm going to just wait and see what happens. Hopefully it does. You know, I'd like to see maybe the little cup and handle pattern, the Adam and Eve pattern form here, and use that to break up towards $1.50. That would be amazing. But obviously, that's just a hope. That's just a guess. I'm just going to have to sit back, wait, and watch, and I think that should be what you do as well. And so your homework for me tonight is to map out $1.03 and $1. And I want you to set your alerts, okay? I want you to set some alerts right here in this little red box. What happens here is going to be incredibly important, and I've already run you through it. If we hold support here, we're probably looking really good for a move upwards. Maybe not immediately, right? It might take some time. We might need to kind of cook it a little bit before moving, but that is very possibly where we're going, is upwards as a result of holding support here. But if support is lost, I mean, technically, all we have left at that point is 91 cents. And that is, I mean, that in itself is already a gnarly fall. That's like a fall of 11 to 12%. And that could just be the beginning of it. Because quite frankly, once you start coming back down here, that opens up the door for a possible loss of support there. And then we push to 81 cents and we get the ABC correction, the 3-wave. And then we're talking a 20-30% pullback. I mean, from where we are now to the bottom side of that, that's freaking 23%. So you see the implications. And so the primary focus of this video is to simply just go on a little bit of a tangent and tell you that where we're at right now is extremely important. You need to watch this very closely. And what happens here is going to very, very, very likely decide what happens for the rest of the year. So we're going to be going over it closely. And so with that in mind, guys, again, as I said, your homework is to lay out this red box, keep a close eye on it, and do stay tuned for more videos, as I am going to be going over this pretty in depth as we do get closer and closer to one of these moves starting to happen. Now, as I did mention before, if you are somebody who's simply just trying to get better at this whole crazy world of crypto, what I want you to do is I want you to check out Tyler Hill's Crypto Vault. That's my own personal Discord community. It's an educational platform that you can all check out in the links down below, where every single day we have, for example, Insights with Tyler, which are just my thoughts and insights, some of the things that I'm buying and selling, some of the meme coins that I'm adding to my portfolio, and much more. There's exclusive live streams with our coaches. This is every single day. You're going to get things like Crypto Vault Live. We have Q&As with Cades every week. We have Fridays with Frank every week. We have daily technical analysis reports that release throughout the weeks. We have, of course, daily fundamental analysis reports, a professional team of traders posting their buy and sell signals every single day. And you got to remember, these are people whose livelihood rely on the fact that they trade well, and they're giving you their buy and sell signals, generating beautiful gains. I mean, look at this, 100%, 63% and more. We have premium classes on things like the Fibonacci's, Bollinger Bands, the Beginner's Guide to XRP. We have the power of blockchain, power of on-chain analysis. We have many more of these classes coming soon. We have beginners courses, these 30-minute long videos, 20-page presentations with vocabulary and cheat sheet, going over the basics to things like leverage trading and technical analysis. And then last, we have the friggin' wonderful community that's absolutely smashing it. As I mentioned before, with all of these things we're providing, they're using these things to hone in their strategies, learn these lessons, develop real good game plans that they're then using to generate insane gains. 100%, 70%. Shout out to Sosa Aces, $1,700 gain right there. Look at this dude coming in, absolutely smashing it with the gains. Even a short trade yesterday, which is insane. Just, again, hundreds of percentages and gains every single day. Sosa dropped in a $6,000 gain the other day. Insane stuff. So if you want to be a part of this community of people who are learning, what I want you to do is I want you to go check out that Patreon link down below. This is how you get access to Tyler Hill's Crypto Vault. And it's the cost of a Netflix subscription or cheaper, guys. $17 a month or $5 a month. I think that's insanely valuable. We have over 750 members that you can start interacting with today. So if you want to start learning and turn that into real life profits, hit that link down below. And so with that in mind, guys, don't forget, I've been trying to upload 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 videos every single day, as many as I possibly can. So if you have been enjoying them, let me know by smashing that video, the like button, hitting that subscribe button if you are new, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Peace out, everybody.